Welcome back to Any Recapped. Today we will cover the series Eminence in Shadow. Make sure to subscribe to Any Recapped and hit the bell icon to be the first one to watch our new recaps. Let's begin. The episode starts when a young girl with red eyes wakes up and takes a shower. She gets ready to leave for school and suddenly recalls a frightening flashback as she opens the door. Her driver is standing outside and asks her if she's okay. She tells him it is nothing and they leave. However, a mysterious truck is shown around their house. She reaches the school, greets everyone as she walks inside, and confronts a guy. She states that she despises the guy named Kajino and greets him as well. She further states he is an average guy with average qualities and he greets her back, referring to her as Nishimura. However, the girl tells him her name is not Nishimura and gets interrupted by the guy when she begins to tell him her name. He tells her that lately he hasn't been able to get enough sleep and calls her Nishitani, which makes her angry because they have been sitting next to each other for 3 months. The girl states that her name is Nishino, and the guy calls her Nishimura again as he leaves. Nishino states she hates Kajino because he never looks directly into her eyes and pretends to do so. Later, it is revealed that Nishino is an actress and her friends ask her about her upcoming drama. She states she has always avoided Kajino and he is sitting beside her. Nishino reveals that in middle school, she was involved in a scandal and had to take a break from show business. She states that she has been hiding behind a mask ever since the incident and has to play different personalities so no one hates it. Later at night, Nishino calls her driver. However, he gets surrounded by 2 gangsters and doesn't answer the phone. She decides to walk by herself and Kajino watches her from the top as she leaves. Nishino states that she has not walked home ever since the incident and suddenly, a huge guy appears behind her. She tries to run away, but a car stops in front of her and a skinny guy steps out of it. He kidnaps her and she faints as she watches Kajino standing around the corner of the street. Later, she wakes up in a room where the kidnappers are revealed to be gangsters. The skinny one tells her it is not safe for the daughter of the head of Nishino Zaibatsu to walk alone at night. The big guy tells him to wait for the money as they have sent the ransom note and an argument starts between them. It turns out that Kajino has followed them and he puts on an outfit outside the room. The skinny guy starts to torture Nishino and reminds her she has already experienced a scandal before with a stalker. She tries to resist and suddenly, Kajino drops from the ceiling by breaking the glass. He disguises himself as stylish ruffian Slayer and the skinny gangster pulls out his gun to attack him. He successfully defeats him and the other gangster acknowledges that he is good. He states he is an ex-military man and has been waiting for an opportunity for a fight like this. Their fight starts and Kajino gets damaged by the knife. However, he pulls out his crowbars and aggressively launches multiple attacks. Kajino gets hit by the military man again and he states he can crush him with a single blow. However, Kajino changes his style of using crowbars and grabs them from their heel, which reveals he is a dangerous brawler who defeats motorbike gangs by himself, known as Balaclava Berserker. He successfully manages to launch multiple brutal attacks and defeats the ex-military man. Afterward, he uses a knife to untie Nishino and advises her to be careful next time. Nishino looks back to see he has disappeared and tied up the gangsters. Kajino states at his current level, he will not be able to become the eminence in Shadow. Later, Nishino reveals that she called the police and due to her father's connections, the incident never became public. The next day, she encounters Kajino again to greet him and is surprised to see that he gets her name right. He looks directly into her eyes and Nishino assumes he also has been living his life behind a mask, but she would never know. Later, a piece of the news reveals Mino Kajino has died in a car accident, and the scene shifts to a flashback where he states he wished to become a hero and master every martial arts skill. However, he would not be able to survive a nuclear attack and wanted to become stronger than that. Later, it is shown that Kajino is reincarnated in another world and desires to operate the society from the shadows. His ultimate goal is to become the eminence in the shadow. It is revealed that in another life, Kajino was reborn as Cid Kajino, the son of an aristocrat, Baron Kajino, and is living in the boonies. They are a family of dark knights that enhance their physical abilities using magic. Claire Kajino, the elder sister of Cid, is expected to be a heir of the family, and he grew up as an average, ordinary Dark Knight. However, we see that Cid is working as a vigilant in secret and is a powerful individual who kills some bandits. He discovers a blob of rotten flesh overloaded with magic and decides to perform experiments on it. 1 month later, he succeeds in containing the magic overload and the blob reverts into an elvish girl. To perform his act as Eminence of Shadow, he tells her that she is a descendant of heroes who defeated the demon called Diablos and a cult is seeking to revive the great demon. Cid states that his name is Shadow, and his mission is to hunt the cult. The girl believes his lies and agrees to form a group filled with other hero descendants called Shadow Garden, and he names her Alpha. 3 years later, Cid states that nobles are sent to Midgar Academy in the royal capital when they turn 15 and Claire has enrolled in the academy as well. However, she was kidnapped on the day of her departure, and it is shown that Alpha had recruited 6 members to her team. They locate her location and confirm that she was kidnapped by the cult of Diablos. Later, Claire is seen in a hideout covered in magic sealing chains, and a gray-haired man named Viscount Grease threatens her brother. She breaks her chains to attack him but gets punched by him and faints. On the other hand, the Shadow of Garden enters the hideout and kills all the guards. Grease confronts them and tries to fight them, but Alpha overpowers him easily. He uses some kind of enhancing pill to increase his magic power and vanishes to run away. Cid finds him and a fight starts between them, in which he easily overpowers him, causing him to use all of his pills to enhance his power. However, he is defeated in a humiliating way by Cid, and Claire escapes. She leaves for the academy the next day, and Alpha announces that the Shadow of Garden is leaving Cid, which surprises him. Cid states that Alpha and the others left to hunt the Diablo cult all over the world, but in reality, he believes they got bored of him and freed themselves. He also joins the Midgar Academy as he turns 15 and enrolls there to carry out his role as a background character. Due to his plan, he befriends 2 average guys named Poe and Skell and loses a bet with them. The bet is to propose to the most beautiful girl in the academy named Princess Alexia, who's already engaged in a political marriage. Later, Cid awkwardly proposes to her, hoping to get rejected. However, gets surprised when Alexia accepts his proposal to become his girlfriend. The next day, as Cid is eating lunch with his friends, Alexia joins them and invites Cid to attend the Royal Bush in class with her. He states that he is in the lowest section. However, Alexia tells him she's arranged a spot for him in the top section. Cid attends the class and states that their instructor is the official royal fencing instructor named Mr. Zeon. Cid and Alexia spar with each other as he concludes she has average skills, unlike her sister named Princess Iris, who is the current strongest Dark Knight in the kingdom. However, it is revealed that Alexia is engaged to Zeon and doesn't want to marry him. She makes a deal with Cid to act as her boyfriend for some time in exchange for money, and he agrees. They carry her act successfully for a while, but one day Alexia notices Zeon having a laugh with some girls and gets frustrated. After 2 weeks of their relationship, Cid tells Alexia he likes her fencing style, which makes her furious because she hates it. She tells him she's not as skilled as her sister Iris, despite the effort she put into sword training, and is called Fencer Ordinaire. He states he likes that, for it focuses on the mastery of basics. However, she gets angry and ends their fake relationship. Later, Zeon reveals Alexia has been kidnapped and arrests Cid as a suspect in the kidnapping. Alexia wakes up in magic sealing chains with a mutant girl in the next room, and the scientist tells her she has demon blood. He states that he wishes to resurrect the demon as he extracts her blood. The scene then shifts to Cid getting brutally tortured in the interrogation process by royal guards and states he can withstand the physical pain. The scientist tells Alexia that if he doesn't complete his research, he would be excommunicated by the cult. After 5 days of interrogation, Princess Iris orders to release Cid and monitor him until Alexia is found. Cid gets released and reunites with Alpha, who tells him she has made progress in increasing the number of members in Shadow of Garden. She states that the cult is behind the kidnapping of Alexia and advises him to lay low for a while. He agrees but believes she is making it up. Later, Cid is told about the operation planned by Alpha, in which they have gathered 114 soldiers to attack the Diablo cult in different locations simultaneously. He states that he would also take part in it and still believes Alpha and the others are bluffing. He starts by killing 2 royal guards who tortured him. The scene then shifts to the scientist, who injects Alexia's blood into the mutant girl, turning her into a demon. The demon kills the scientist and frees Alexia as it goes on a rampage, destroying the city. Alexia decides to leave and is confronted by Zeon, who tells her he was behind her kidnapping. He tells her that he was the one who funded the facility and requires her blood so he could be promoted to the 12 highest-ranking knights in the order known as Knight of the Rounds. Alexia gets furious and attacks him. However, she gets defeated by him easily, and suddenly, Cid appears as he disguises himself as Shadow. Zeon states that Shadow is behind the constant attacks on the cult and declares himself a core member of the cult. On the other hand, the demon girl rampages through the city and the royal knights attack her. However, the demon heals herself. Princess Iris reaches the destination and launches multiple attacks on the demon, but the demon instantly heals herself again. She assumes the only way to kill the demon is to launch multiple attacks simultaneously, making it unable for the demon to regenerate herself. As she prepares to launch the attack, Alpha appears out of nowhere and attacks the demon with one powerful attack. The demon dies, and Alpha tells Iris about the Shadow Garden, ordering her to stay out of their way as she vanishes. Amidst the chaos, Zeno struggles against Shadow in the fight, and a fierce battle takes place between them. However, Shadow easily overpowers him, and Zeno is surprised by his strength. Alexia watches the fight closely and analyzes the fencing technique of Shadow, which is similar to the one she idealizes. As Zeno struggles against Shadow, he uses the enhancing pill and tells him ordinary people cannot withstand the effects of the pill. He states only the chosen ones, those who are worthy of joining the rounds, are the ones who can use the pill and transform it into a demonic form. However, Zeno still struggles against Shadow and he gets mocked by him constantly. Shadow uses his overwhelming power of magic and decides to finish him with a nuclear attack. Zeno tries to attack him with his sword, which breaks, and Shadow launches an atomic attack on him. After he is killed and Shadow is gone, Alexia is found by her sister, who takes her home. Later, it is shown that Alexia offers Cid to become his boyfriend, but he rejects the offer, which makes her furious, and she punishes him. Later, Alpha and the others found out someone has been misusing the name of Shadow of Garden to perform their activities and decides to expose them. Princess Iris orders to assemble a new investigation team to find out about the Diablo cult and the Shadow of Garden. Cid accidentally bumps into a girl with pink hair. The false Shadow Garden kills innocent people committing murders. Poe and Skell force Cid to visit the Mitsugoshi, which is a superstore, to buy chocolates so they can get girls, and he agrees. On the other hand, Princess Iris shows an artifact to the pink-haired girl named Sherry Barnett, a brilliant mind student at the academy. She states that it was retrieved from one of the destroyed bases of the Diablo cult and orders her to decipher it. She assigns the Crimson Order, a new order of knights recently established by her, to keep watch over Sherry. Alexia requests Iris to let her participate as well, and she agrees, however, tells her to be careful. The scene then shifts to Cid, Poe, and Skell, who reach the Mitsugoshi, and Cid finds out it is like a departmental store from his previous life. A girl invites Cid to take a survey about the store, and he goes with her. Later, Cid meets Gamma, a member of Shadow of Garden, and it is revealed that the store has been created by her with the wisdom provided by him. Cid recalls he used to tell her stories about his past life by naming them words of wisdom, and states Gamma is the smartest in the Shadow of Garden. Gamma informs her she owns multiple stores around the city and has created them to fund the Shadow of the Garden. Cid is unaware and still believes she is bluffing. However, she tells him they have 1 billion zeni at her disposal, surprising him. She states they are currently investigating the fake Shadow of Garden, and Cid tells her he would take part in the investigation as well. Gamma introduces him to Nu, the newest member of the Shadow of Garden, and Cid tells Gamma to give her 3 bundles of chocolates as he leaves. The next day, Skell gives chocolate to an upper-class girl and gets caught up by her fiancé. Poe also boasts to hand over chocolate to a girl, but is revealed to be a stalker and scares her. Cid decides to give his chocolate to the next girl he encounters and hands it over to Sherry. Sherry's father tells her the chocolates were given to her as a sign of love confession by the boy, and she must answer him. Sherry thanks him for adopting her, and he states her mother was an excellent researcher as well. Would Cid be able to know anything about the fake Shadow of Garden? And would they be able to destroy the Diablo cult? Let's find out in the next part. Thank you so much for staying until the end. Make sure to subscribe to Any Recap for more similar videos. Bye.